Hello, everyone. The agenda of e-commerce and artificial intelligence is very busy. Last week, the most talked about topic was the end of the U.S. de minimis exemption. On August 29th, the de minimis exemption was lifted. Global e-commerce brands are now trying to adapt to the consequences of this decision. In our video, we will discuss this topic in depth. In addition, there are also developments regarding OpenAI's discovery of e-commerce. While the company is preparing to announce losses this year, it is looking for ways to turn e-commerce product searches into opportunities. We will also talk about the biggest cyber attacks in recent times that took place in the UAE. There are also new e-commerce-focused developments and new launches in the artificial intelligence ecosystem. This week, we have compiled news from a wide geography, especially from MENA and Türkiye, that will attract your attention. Don't forget to follow us, like, and also turn on notifications. I would like to start with a celebration. I congratulate the Emirati women of the United Arab Emirates on Emirati Women's Day. On August 28th, Emirati women celebrated their achievements in all sectors. This year's theme, Hand in Hand, celebrating the 50th year. This special day is celebrated to honor the lasting legacy of the UAE General Women's Union since 1975. It honors the invaluable contributions of Emirati women to the progress and development of the United Arab Emirates. Founded by Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, known as the Mother of the Nation, this day was officially launched in 2015. This special day has pioneered the shaping of policies, programs, and initiatives that have supported the socio-economic, educational, and political participation of Emirati women for 50 years. On this occasion, I would like to share some statistics about Emirati women. The university attendance rate of women in the UAE has reached 80%. The rate of female employees in the public sector has approached 50%. The share of female entrepreneurs in the UAE business world has exceeded 30%. The representation rate of women in the Federal National Council is over 50%. This is one of the highest rates in the world. The UAE ranks 13th in the 2025 UNDP Gender Equality Index and first in its region in women's rights and gender equality. More than 25,000 Emirati businesswomen hold over 50,000 commercial licenses in total. The total value of women's investments has exceeded 60 billion AED. As can be seen, Emirati women play a very important role in the economic, social, and cultural development of the UAE. I once again congratulate Emirati women. Let's continue with the e-commerce agenda, the topic that has been discussed for months. On Friday, August 29, the de minimis exemption was lifted in the US. What does this mean? It means that the customs exemption granted to packages worth $800 or less entering the US has now ended. The de minimis tax exemption, which allowed low-value packages to enter the country without customs duties, began to be implemented in 1938. So Trump abruptly ended an 87-year-old practice. Why did the U.S. suspend de minimis? The White House argues that de minimis gave unfair advantage to international manufacturers and made it easier for medicines and banned products to enter the country, because these products could easily enter the country due to fast processing and less inspection. Both the Biden and Trump administrations had expressed concerns about the negative effects of de minimis shipments. And finally, with Trump's insistence, the decision to lift the de minimis exemption came into effect on August 29, 2025. After the decision, global e-commerce markets almost experienced a shock. A number of postal carriers worldwide suspended package deliveries to the US. Now, e-commerce sellers, supply chain providers, delivery companies, and customs service providers are making decisions to adapt to this new era. If sellers do not cover customs duties, customs taxes for shipments from overseas retailers to the U.S. become more expensive. This situation may directly affect American consumers. From the perspective of e-commerce platforms, this decision will affect retailers such as Shein and Temu, which mostly ship from China. A new report has been published regarding the situation of Temu and Shein in Europe. According to the report of the European Commission, EU countries cannot keep up with the wave of packages coming from Temu and Shein. In other words, the Commission says, the customs authorities of EU countries cannot cope with unsafe e-commerce products. The report states that the number of customs inspections carried out across the EU has increased. However, the number of packages containing potentially dangerous products is increasing much faster. It is stated that 3 countries carry out single-digit inspections per million incoming packages. However, there are major differences in the number of inspections between countries. Some countries perform 100 times more inspections. Since the countries are not named in the report, the worst-performing countries cannot be identified. EU institutions are negotiating customs reform that will introduce a central data hub to connect national authorities to deal with these problems. It is stated that under the reform plan, e-commerce companies will pay a €2 processing fee for each incoming package. Let's continue with a report on how Chinese e-commerce platforms are expanding in European countries. According to data from supply chain consulting firm Evian, while China's e-commerce volume shifted toward Europe, the e-commerce volume to the US decreased. This report has both direct and indirect connections with the US de minimis decision. In the May-July period, the US received 15% of China's e-commerce exports. This figure shows a 16% decline compared to the same period last year. Europe, on the other hand, received 27% of exports from China in the May-July period, showing a 6% annual increase. Let's take a look at developments in MENA. DHL e-commerce is making significant investments in the MENA market. The company completed its entry into the Saudi Arabian market by making a minority stake investment in parcel logistics company, AJEX Logistics Services. DHL stated that this step is an important milestone for the rapidly growing Saudi Arabian parcel market and AJEX's expansion in the Middle East. The agreement between DHL and AJEX targets the double-digit growth expected in Saudi Arabia's e-commerce sector and the Kingdom's Vision 2030. The company also has a growth target in the Middle East market. AJEX has more than 60 facilities, 1,200 vehicles, and 2,000 professional employees in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East region. After the agreement, the company will be branded as AJEX DHL e-commerce partner. DHL is currently represented in the country with its e-commerce, express, supply chain, and global forwarding business units. This step is part of DHL's strategy to invest more than €500 million in its Middle East operations. Let's mention the WORLDEF event to be held in Saudi Arabia. The Riyadh e-commerce business forum brings together marketplaces, payment companies, and logistics brands. Organized under the leadership of WORLDEF on October 14, 2025, the forum brings together more than 300 global and regional e-commerce leaders, investors, and e-commerce entrepreneurs in a one-day exclusive event. It will be a gateway to success for brands that want to explore opportunities in Saudi Arabia's rapidly growing e-commerce market and build partnerships with local businesses. Experts in the region's e-commerce will share their experiences at the event. You can use the QR code on the screen to participate in the Riyadh e-commerce business forum event. Important developments are taking place in the world of artificial intelligence. It is being discussed that OpenAI, the owner of the artificial intelligence giant ChatGPT, may turn to e-commerce to increase its revenue and is developing significant strategies in this area. So why is OpenAI turning to e-commerce? Training and operating ChatGPT is quite costly. For this reason, OpenAI is considering discovering a proven way of generating online revenue. And naturally, this path is e-commerce. OpenAI has reached 700 million weekly users. It dominates the generative artificial intelligence market, and its annual revenue has exceeded $10 billion. Despite this, it is claimed that OpenAI will announce significant losses by the end of 2025. Considering this situation, the company is evaluating e-commerce as a new revenue opportunity. OpenAI is developing a payment feature prototype that will allow it to take commissions from purchases made by its users through its platforms. Because users frequently request online shopping recommendations from ChatGPT, this turns the chatbot into a virtual personal shopping guide. This usage has become so common that OpenAI has a detailed support page about how the system manages shopping results. The sellers chosen by artificial intelligence are created based on web store and product metadata collected by ChatGPT's browsers or data provided directly by third-party sources. In other words, OpenAI acknowledges that these data are not directly ordered or managed by themselves. The company expects this to turn into a new shopping experience. It is exploring ways for sellers to provide direct product feeds, similar to what they do with competitors like Google Shopping. We asked ChatGPT about this news, and here's the answer we got. OpenAI has begun to explore e-commerce in order to balance ChatGPT's operating costs and increase its revenue. The company plans to benefit from users using ChatGPT as a virtual personal shopping guide while shopping. This approach includes the potential of taking commissions from users shopping through ChatGPT. OpenAI started to develop this e-commerce model by establishing a partnership with Shopify in 2025. This partnership aims to provide OpenAI users with a space to complete their shopping experience within the platform. Thus, the company aims to take commissions from product sales and create a new source of revenue in the field of e-commerce. The longest cyber attack in the Middle East took place in the United Arab Emirates. According to NetScout's research on DDoS attacks, 33,165 cyber attacks were recorded in the UAE in the first half of 2025. Some attacks lasted more than 3 hours. This time frame was recorded as the longest attack durations in the Middle East. Attacks lasting more than 200 minutes caused disruptions in banking, e-commerce, and smart city platforms. The attacks carry the risk of undermining the reliability on which the Emirates' digital economy depends. The report also identified 434 gigabits per second attack peaks, some of the most intense attacks in the region. Taken together, the UAE has not only become a frequently targeted region, but also a testing ground for new, patience-focused tactics. Other striking data in the report are as follows. NetScout monitored over 8 million DDoS attacks worldwide in the first half of 2025. In the first half of 2025, more than 50 attacks exceeding 1 terabit per second and multiple gigapacket per second attacks were observed. These include a 3.12 terabits per second attack in the Netherlands and a 1.5 gigapixels per second attack in the US. In other words, DDoS has now become precision-directed weapons used to create geographical impact with the capacity to destabilize critical infrastructures. India's top-tier sports broadcasting platform FanCode is shutting down its e-commerce segment, FanCode Shop. FanCode's e-commerce segment will continue to operate until October of this year. The company will direct its resources and full energy toward its core content products. The website was selling authentic sports products, jerseys, and collectibles from various teams and brands. There are important developments at Africa's e-commerce giant Jumia. As you know, Axian Group had purchased about an 8% stake in Jumia. Following this move, Axian CEO Hassanin Hiriji joined Jumia's board of directors. This development brought forward the possibility of a potential acquisition of Jumia by telecom giant Axian. Hiriji officially joined Jumia's supervisory board. This step comes amid growing speculation that the Mauritius-based conglomerate is seeking to acquire a larger stake in Jumia, Africa's largest e-commerce platform, or even preparing for a potential takeover. At the end of June, Axian Telecom issued bonds worth $600 million to refinance existing debts and to finance a possible Jumia acquisition. Axian currently holds an 8% stake in Jumia, worth about $40 million. US-based e-commerce shopping cart software and hosting company Miva is introducing Vexture to transform e-commerce. Vexture helps online retailers deliver faster and more relevant search results that understand true customer intent. As a next-generation product discovery tool, Vexture is the first of a series of innovative tools developed to help merchants remain competitive. The platform leverages AI-powered natural language processing and real store data to go beyond traditional keyword matching and understand not what shoppers type, but what they mean. Miva CEO Rick Wilson said that with Vexture, they developed a system that understands customers' intent and directs them to the right product faster. Vexture has features such as intent understanding, smarter product discovery, delivering fast and secure data, making smart adjustments, and increasing conversions. This artificial intelligence, which works like a retailer, has an AI engine that classifies queries into 3 categories. Trendyol, a Turkey-based company acquired by Chinese Alibaba in 2023, has released 3 new open-source artificial intelligence models. Trendyol Group focuses on image processing with the new models. The models are divided into 3: Dino V2 image similarity, e-commerce product image encoder, and background removal. These models include visual functions based on the company's sectoral experience in e-commerce. The company announced that they are focusing on problems related to catalog quality, moderation, and semantic representation of products. Within this framework, they develop the existing models according to their needs. Thank you for watching me. As WorldDef News, we follow developments in global e-commerce and artificial intelligence ecosystems for you, especially in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share our content, and like. Goodbye.